Hi, so today I'm going to show you how to turn a hand-drawn illustration into a digital illustration using Adobe Illustrator CC. First, you're going to go and create new. For this one, I'm going to choose the A4 sizing just because it's what suits the illustration I've chosen. And over here, I'm going to choose the portrait selection. Obviously, depending on the illustration, depends whether you choose portrait or landscape. Now we're going to go to File and select Place. Then you're going to select the illustration that you want to use. For this one, I'm going to use an illustration of a rocket ship. Now, you're just going to have to place it on the page. And now we're going to resize it. Before resizing, make sure that you press Shift, and this will make sure that you don't distort the image while you're resizing it. Okay, before doing anything, create a new layer so that everything you do is done separately, and if you make a mistake, you can always delete that layer. So I'm going to show you how to trace the image using the pen and curvature tool. First, I'm going to use the pen tool, and I'm going to make sure that the color fill over there is selected at has the none selection. Now I'm going to take the curvature tool and I'm going to curve the lines to the outline of the illustration. And I'm going to do the same on the other line as well. Okay, once you are happy with the shape you have created, you're going to go to your layers panel. And if you've just made the mistake I have, you're going to click on the arrow and you're going to select the sub layer and move it to the correct layer. Okay, for the next part of the space rocket, we're going to create another layer and we're going to continue creating layers for each part of the space rockets. We are now going to select the pencil again for the next part of the spaceship, and we're going to trace the wings. As you can see, the illustration isn't proportioned, and those pink lines are Illustrator's way of measurements. So follow the pink lines if you want everything to be correctly proportioned. As you can see, the wing isn't correctly on the spaceship, so we're just going to use the curvature tool to make sure that everything is aligned. We're going to use the same technique to trace all the other elements of the spaceship as we have done for every other part so far. If something looks out of proportion, go to the direct selection tool and then you can use this to fix it. We will continue to use the same techniques to trace all the other elements of the space rockets. Okay, now for the windows of the rocket, we're going to go to the shape tool. And if you click on it and hold, you will see all the different shapes come up. For the windows, we're going to use the ellipse tool. When we're making the windows, you're going to hold on shift and create. This will help you create a perfect circle. Now we're just going to move it into place. Now if you press Command C, Command V, this will copy and paste it. And remember when resizing to press shift so that it stays a perfect circle. We're going to now create another circle for the small dots in the windows. Now that tracing is done, we're going to go to our layer panel. We're going to go all the way to the first layer, and where the illustration is, we're going to click on the eye so that it disappears, and all that's left is what we've illustrated on Adobe. We are now going to go to the gradient tool to color and shade in the illustration. Select the part of the spaceship that you want to shade in first. I'm going to choose blue for the top piece. And I'm going to take away the border of the shape so that all the colors can mesh nicely together. Now going back to the gradient tool, I'm going to take the color and I'm going to drag it onto the line. And now you can change the lighting and shadow effects of the color by moving the points on the line. Then to change the angle of the light and dark shades, click on the angle button and select the correct angle degree that you want. Select the next part that you want to shade and make sure to select the fill color at the bottom. Now on the gradient panel, go to the arrow next to the color block and choose white and black in order to reset the color. Then you can choose the next color that you want to use and use the same process as we did before. Continue to use this process for each individual part that you want to color. As you can see, the leg of the ship is behind the flame. This is easily fixed by going to the layer panel and moving the layer with the leg above the layer of the flames. Again, the leg of the ship is behind the flame. Therefore, move the layers in the layer panel in order to fix this, just like previously. For the smaller circles, I'm going to change the type of shading from linear to radial to give it a more circular effect. Lastly, I'm going to select the whole image, and then after that I'm going to go to Object and select Group to make it one image. After this whole process, we are now left with a rocket ship.